Hey, this is Joe from Retro Pocket on eBay. Today we're going to be backlighting a Game Boy Pocket screen. I like to start with lots of flux on this ribbon cable. Use a toothpick to provide gentle pressure in between the ribbon cable connection, because we're going to be taking a hot bead of solder and getting this thing opened up. Just go back and forth, being careful not to use really any pressure with your soldering iron. You're just using the surface tension from the solder to open this connection up. This cable connection is very delicate. I recommend practicing on a junk screen before you ever attempt it on a good screen. So we've got the ribbon cable connection opened. We can open up the screen and have access to that back polarizer. Just going to take the soldering iron and clean up these pads real quick. Get a Q-tip and wipe down any excess flux that's on this ribbon cable. Now we have something to hold the ribbon cable down. I use a screwdriver here, and we're taking off these little orange pads because those are going to be reused at the end on the back of the backlight. That'll keep any pressure spots from showing through to the screen with the added thickness of the backlight you're adding here. You want to save those for sure. Let's remove this back polarizer / reflective film. We obviously don't need reflective film anymore because we want something clear the backlight can show through. Now sometimes these will come off clean, or sometimes if the adhesive has started to break down, you'll have more junk on the screen and it'll be harder to get that back polarizer off. That's why it's so important to open up the ribbon cable connection instead of trying to pull that off and clean it up with the connection still closed. I can't imagine how difficult that would be. So we'll get this cleaned up with a razor blade and some Goo Gone, and then wipe it down with a microfiber cloth. Now we can blow off the screen, make sure there's no dust or particles, and we can replace that reflective film with a new clear film. We want to do it 90 degrees turn from the orientation of the stock film, so you get this blue color instead of the kind of the green color. This will, in combination with the Vibert chip, provide a much more high contrast image. So we'll get this installed. You want to use one that has an adhesive on one side, and we'll close this up. I like to hold it in my hand and get it tacked in place with a soldering iron. Just be super gentle. I've said it a couple times already, but this connection is so delicate, and it's really easy to destroy one of these screens. Once one of these little ribbon things comes off, it's pretty much over. Alright, so we've got that tacked in place. Now we'll just carefully go over each little leg of the ribbon cable. Make sure each one's got a good flow to the solder. And once we've done that, we can trim the excess. We'll clean up any flux that's still there, but then we'll trim the excess of the polarizer if there is any. And we can move on to adding the backlight. Now these polarizer films both still have protective layers on them, so we'll get our backlight kit and remove its protective film as well. And then we can get the protective film off the inside polarizer. Just being careful with that ribbon cable connection because it's super delicate as well. So blow off any particles still that might be there. You don't want to have any little hairs or anything trapped in there once you close the thing up, and I've had that happen a few times, and you have to open the thing back up and take the backlight out and get the little hair that was stuck in between. That really sucks. So make sure you get it right the first time. So we've got this in, and we can tape that in place. And then we can replace our little orange pads. And we'll have us a backlit Game Boy Pocket screen. Thank you guys for watching. Please check out my eBay store if you're interested in backlit Game Boy Pockets for sale, or if you need any custom work, let me know.